I'm just gonna wait for the stream to come up. I'll
Welcome,
repost it in
welcome,
the DM.
welcome to the now fourth installment of Horns in the Air. And this is a project in conjunction with Cult of Metal. I am Gabe. My co host is RJ. And today, here as our special guest, we have Jake from Method to Madness. How's everyone doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Jake?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I've had a long day at work, but other than that, all good.
Glad to have you here, man. That's no easy task to work a shift and then come and jack around on the internet here.
This is relaxing for me. I'm quite enjoying this so far.
Sweet, sweet. And I'm realizing here again, this is yet another international broadcast. We had Sweden last week, and now you're in the UK. Is that correct? Where in the UK are you, Jake?
Yeah, I'm like sort of near London, basically. I'm like 20 minutes outside London.
Sweet, sweet. That's great. How do you enjoy it there? How's life there right now?
Oh, it's not bad. We've got a massive fucking petrol shortage going on at the minute, so haven't been able to get petrol in about 2 weeks now, which is great.
Holy
but
shit.
You know what?
Talking
Other than
to-
that, it's all good.
I think it was Doyle was talking about like fuel prices being insane in the UK. I didn't realize that was a thing. Like,
Oh, it's ridiculous, man.
yeah,
we're
because
on,
people complain about US ones a lot, but then he was telling me like you guys are even worse.
Well, they
At the
can't
minute,
even
we're
get
about,
it. They can't even get it right now.
Yeah, we
it
just-
seems like.
Yeah.
At the minute, it's about £1.50 per litre, which is like, it's what, 3 gallons a litre?
Yeah.
So, however much that is, it works out like something like $5 per gallon.
Oh,
Which is
It's
fucking
ridiculous.
insane. Because like bad here. No, I haven't owned a car in a minute. But like bad here was like above 3 a gallon.
it is.
before.
Well, right now I'm dealing with 310 right now, which is pretty crazy. That's metal up your ass right there for you. Is $3.10 gas. Or whatever.
$3 a gallon gas is
You
the most
want-
metal fucking shit.
You want brutality? There you go. Above $3 per gallon.
Yeah.
So today we're gonna check out some tracks. We're gonna check out Jake's band, Method to Madness's track. Right now we're gonna start off with Smola, who let me try and pull
Oh
up
shit.
a little bit.
We
of
gotta straighten one
information.
thing real quick, dude. You gotta get your screen share in Discord for us. So we can see what you're.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So how do
I thought we forgot something. I was like, yeah.
That is right. So I go here and then
Make sure you hit Chrome just so we get audio.
right. Oh man, I hope this works.
You got this. I believe in you.
You can do it, man. Don't
No,
worry.
we did this the easy way before. Now you get to do it under pressure,
Well, this is the
But like,
hard
there,
one. Okay.
there's
so
pressure, but no.
Let's see. Let me make sure it didn't mess up. Oh, it messed up one little thing here. Hold on. Let me.
Yeah, our camera's got a little scoot. Oh, I see what happened. Yeah. You can keep me like small. It's fine. People don't need to see me.
Yeah.
I will just say I've got pretty shit internet, so if I'm a little bit behind on stuff, I apologize.
Yeah, we're low tech here. It's fine.
Yeah, it's true. Everything here is pretty ghetto, so we're just doing.
You
it
see
how
my
we
fucking
can.
background? Like, I got. I figured the serial killer wall was more metal. It
Yeah.
just makes me look like I'm an insane person.
And I've got a nice little hippy dippy tapestry going. So
Yeah.
don't worry.
I don't know if I
about
showed
just
my
got a
tapestry on
fucking
stream. I could. No
blank
one's gonna
wall
care if I move
behind
my
me.
webcam right for a sec. But like, this is what I wanted from my backdrop on this wall here. Once that moves over,
Oh,
but
nice. Yeah, we gotta
it's
get that going.
it's just not big enough. It's the way my desk is in the room. It's tough to set that up. But it's like I don't have completely empty walls. But
Well, this is how
I
we
mean,
do it.
ideally, I'd have all my music shit in the background, but all of that is to the right of me, so it's never going to fit in the camera.
yeah.
That's what I need to do. I tell you what, I need to get new hangers for all my guitars so they fit on that back wall.
Well, so anyway, so let's move forward with this this song here. It's from Smola. It's the Czech Republic or Russia, I believe. And here, let's give it a listen
Did
here.
he give us any info in the submissions?
He did, but I'm having issues pulling it up.
I'll take
If
a look.
you can
Yeah.
grab that, that would be great.
I'll look for it.
So far, fantastically black metal guitar tone. I love it. So big.
I love this
Sounds like
melody, yeah.
Immortal. Sounds like Immortal to me.
Do you know what? I've got a weird opinion on this.
Yeah.
It's giving me like old metalcore vibes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I feel like you can definitely feel the influence in modern genres like that. This
Yeah.
shit, you know. You wouldn't think of a lot of like suburban metalcore kids listening to bands like Immortal, but you know there's got to be at least one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there's
it's
got
got
to
to
be.
be
I'm gonna go make blackened metalcore after this now. That's on my list.
There we go.
Oh, that I would listen to that, man.
Black and metalcore. I love it. It'll get done. That'll get done. Someone will do that. This is nice and epic, nice and black. Feels grim. Feels really grim.
I love
It's got
this
a lot of
melody.
groove to it as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that slight head bobbing. Head bob.
I'm liking it. I'm not big into the sort of black metal side of things, but I'm really liking it so much.
Yeah, this seems like it's got like the black metal overtones, but it's very like more I don't know, traditional, just like heavy metal kind of shit going
Yeah.
on. Like listen to this one right here.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, I finally found it. My scroll past it. Nice.
I think the production is really solid, actually. Like, for what they're going for, it sounds really good. The guitar tone.
Yeah, I agree.
That they got a
He
guitar
says
pan
he's-
to the left, and it sounds great doing the solo, or it's like a little rhythmic thing there. Like, it's nice. But go on, RJ.
I'll read his info after. It's,
Okay, sounds good.
I'm getting sort of, as weird as this is to say, just in the sort of guitar harmonies, I'm getting sort of like hair metal vibes, if you get what I mean, but
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot slower.
Yeah, it's like grim heavy metal, you know.
I like this stuff that like has this sort of like it sounds it sounds dark overall, but it's got this brighter tones to it.
Yeah.
And also, I like how he mixed the vocals here.
Yeah,
Like they're very much in the background, but I think they like hit it.
I think for it being a black metal production, I think this is like A+ fucking production. It's like it's not too lo-fi. It's not just like sounding like it's on a cassette that got buried and dug up
Hello
again.
Kitty
You know,
recorded good,
like
yeah.
it's like nice and clean for its style, but still grim. It reminds me of like Rainy Day stuff. It reminds me of like Sons of Northern Darkness, Immortal era stuff. Like I'm a Viking on a boat, you know, getting ready to go on a crusade or something. You know,
I get that vibe completely.
wind in your hair and your Viking beard.
And there's salt in your beard. Yeah.
I'm sort of getting. Have you ever watched 28 Days Later, the zombie film?
Yeah.
I have not. No.
Do you,
I have.
do you know the theme from that?
Vaguely.
That's sort of what I'm getting here.
Yeah, no, I
I love
hear
the sound
that.
of it. It's sick.
I totally hear that. Yeah, like that kind of end of days sound. Yeah, like
Yeah.
totally.
It feels like it'd play perfectly over Live.
Right. Oh, here we go. Blast
It's really
beat.
like thematic.
Love it. Love the blast beat. This totally just dialed up.
I want to see what he raps to do on this.
Yeah.
I'm loving the mixing on that kick drum. That sounds proper crisp.
That's
Really
powerful.
nice.
Hits in the face,
Yeah.
but it's not overbearing. It's great.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that yell was fantastic. I think the vocals. I'm pretty blown away by this whole production.
I'm in love with this guitar tone, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's-
the guitar tone is amazing.
Well, he's doing a lot of interesting stuff with panning. If you're listening on headphones, like in stereo, he's got like he does different little. It's like not double match guitars. Like he does little different variations on each side, which is kind of cool, actually. It's against the rule, you know, the mixing rules supposedly, but it really works here.
I'm loving all the stuff that like I couldn't pin down the genre on this. I love that it could be anyone listening to it, and they'd go, you can hear influences from this genre and this genre. It just sort of brings it all together in such a nice way.
Totally.
Something like really cute about like people's earlier or smaller projects that like they kind of break out into, and it's sort of like not really going for a specific niche. It's very much just like, I'm gonna make the music that I kind of want to hear, that I don't think people are quite doing. It's just like a little bit of all these things I like.
Which is what I, am all about. I'm all about passion projects. Doesn't matter, like if you have a sound, get it out there. Don't try and copy other bands. Like be yourself as
exactly.
Much
because
as
there's
possible.
so many like black metal bands that sound identical. There's so many new metal bands that sound identical.
Right.
I love when people sort of like forge their own way.
Right. And it may not like hit like in that perfect way because it's a little unique, but then that's why it like has a certain something that other things don't. I don't know. It's a weird trade-off. It's a hard trade-off of being yourself and trying to find accessibility, but this is a fantastic song. I'm gonna have to check out more of their work for sure, and hopefully you have some information pulled up on them, RJ.
I do. I'll go through them after.
Okay, sweet.
I mean,
You're gonna have to help me pronounce this because I don't know how to read Russian.
It's okay. I don't either. So give it your best shot.
I mean, this is probably the biggest compliment I can give because it's how I judge music. But if this came up on my sort of like recommended list on a playlist, it'd be straight on my playlist.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Well, I definitely wouldn't skip that. That's something that I would be like, what is this? Who is this? I'm curious about this.
Definitely. So this is Smola. I don't know if that's also the name of if that's what that translates to, the Russian word, the thing that looks like it starts with a C.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna go with that. If not, I apologize. But it is melodic black metal / pagan metal. Which is lit.
Interesting.
His name's Vladimir, and Smola is his one-person project. It's melodic riffs and experimental stuff. He says it's meant to convey his thoughts and experiences. That's why they're in Russian. Fair enough. Smola is something that comes from the inside. So he's got, with the pagan ties, like I could see that being like a spiritual deal,
totally.
which I fuck with a lot. I like I really like sort of those styles of like those like I don't want to say like occultist, but like spiritual lyrics,
Yeah.
He says he likes traditional black metal, but doesn't want to copy it. Interested in finding his own way of doing something that's really soulful. Well, there you go, soulful, spiritual.
I hear that 100%. Because it's very clearly black metal, but it doesn't sound like every other black metal song.
Yeah, definitely. And he did all his own recording and mixing. It sounds fantastic. I'm curious what other projects he might have had or experience under his belt to nail something like this down. Because I'm always so routinely impressed by like the one-man projects that come on here.
Same, man.
That sound better than like a lot of like full band
totally
productions.
I think this, really the mix, this is a total A+ product to me for being a one-man band. And like, I think that it's legitimate, and if he just needs to find his listeners to it because it's just got a specific vibe. I'm definitely one of those listeners. I'm going to check out more of his stuff for sure because this track is really turned my head on it. And
should we talk pieces a little bit of the track? Like I gushed about the guitars a lot, right? Yeah. Like the tone that he nailed overall, and I like how bright it is, despite it still feeling like a black metal song, right? And it's not like, I think my biggest complaint about a lot of stuff that's very heavily, like traditional black metal can be hard for me to listen to sometimes, either because of mixing or just because it gets a little grating on the ears. But this is like, it was pleasant to listen to, for lack of a better word, but still sounded like everyone instantly as soon as they started playing was like, oh yeah, that's black metal, but it still sounded so clean, I guess.
Yeah, right. Well, the mix.
Yeah.
The mix really, it's a new school black metal mix because it's not like all analog, all dirty, all filthy. But at the same time, it doesn't lose its grimness with its high fidelity, like which I personally really like. I think a lot more black metal could be done better with higher production quality standards, or styles, not standards. I shouldn't say standards, but styles, just because sometimes that stuff, it's really brutal and I like it, but the quality is so lo-fi.
It feels like it filters people a lot of the time.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
where-
It's kind of a gatekeeper thing. It is a gatekeeper.
And a lot of that was intentional back in the day, to be fair.
Oh,
They
totally.
were like, hey, it's not really black metal unless you sound like shit.
Right. No.
I mean,
which-
as someone that isn't like big into black metal at all, this is something I'd listen to and just go, yeah, that's solid.
Yeah.
I mean, my main reason of not liking black metal, well, I don't dislike it, but like my main reason of not getting into it more is just like a lot of it seems so sort of excessive, like they're trying to make it sound like it was sort of, obviously you kind of want the vibe that it was recorded in a house somewhere. It was done on a lo-fi
in
sort
a
of experience.
Burnt down church on top of a icy mountain,
but
with no one else.
But when they
around.
try so over the top to get that sound, it becomes really obvious that they're just trying to do that, and at that point it becomes no longer sort of a legitimate experience. They're just emulating something.
Totally. I mean, I get that point of view solidly in terms of just accessibility, but I think, again, like that was kind of the point at a certain point, and it still probably is to certain people. But I think really, to evolve black metal's evolution is going to be curious to see how it happens, because with technology today, you can make stuff sound so hi-fi, so like professional studio sounding just on your own computer or whatever. But then you can also stylistically degrade that sound. And that's what this guy kind of has found ways to do, of going hi-fi, but certain amounts of degradation, but not too much, not over the top where it's just like a dude screaming into a mic with a blast beat going at 300 BPM and just the scratchiest guitar tone that you can't even understand. But anyway, I'm gonna say I really like this, and I think we should move forward to Method to Madness, our featured guest here.
I would love to talk to you about it.
Yes, so let me. Hey, RJ, could you pull up that submission and put it into the Discord, please? When did Method to Madness get started?
So, Jade and Rose, who is our old singer, started in, I think it was 2019. So this track that we're about to hear was originally written for the band before I was in the band. So that's why you're going to feel, at least I feel on this track, you're going to feel that the screams are more of an afterthought, because obviously that's what I do. I do screams. I try to do cleans, but this is with our old vocalist.
Who's playing guitar on this track?
So the lead is me, and the rhythm is Jade.
Oh,
you guys know Jade.
Yeah, a little bit. Shout out to Cult of Metal. What's up, Jade?
Unfortunately, she can't be, or they can't be here with us tonight. But all good.
Right.
So they originally asked me, can you come on and just do do a couple of screams in the background? And originally, the funny story is, it was, Donut from Cult of Metal.
Yeah. Yes.
He was originally meant to be doing the screams, but for whatever reason, it never worked out. And I was just like, yeah, I'll feature on this song. It sounds really good. I had released something on my own before, which Jade had mixed for me. And then after a while, we had worked together, sort of working on different things, and I was asked to join the band. And it's all sort of history from there. We're doing our best we can at the minute. We're trying to work on a Britney cover, which should be coming out fairly soon.
Are you doing Toxic?
Toxic's the song.
We're not.
Can you say if you do? Okay.
Every metal band does Toxic, so we've
I had to
got
ask. Someone who was I talking to? maybe I can't say that in case that's a secret. But
Oh no,
Yeah.
I know who you're on about.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, every metal band does Toxic, so we decided to do Oops, I Did It Again, because I just heard it in a shop one day, and I went, that would be sick if we could do like a high gritty belt at the end there.
Yeah,
Work out amazing. And so I'm trying to record that in a minute, but obviously my work schedule is a bit fucked at the minute, so
Yeah, no, it's understandable. You know, everything gets done in its time. It's, you know, like all good stuff just gets done. That's the thing, is eventually if it gets done, that's all that matters. You can't rush anything, especially with COVID going on, and even how you know, doing internet projects, you know, you just have to have patience if you're going to be doing it, you know, like.
At least we're out here surviving in this day and age, you know. I mean, if this had happened like 2 decades earlier, like there's gonna be no survivors among bands. You know?
Right. Totally.
Yeah.
So what are some of your influences for this project, Jake?
So my main influences, personally, I loved Slipknot. So I was sort of, with my screams, I was going for the more sort of nu metal, sort of half shout, half screams. I'm big on sort of old British metalcore, so sort of like early Asking Alexandria, early Bring Me the Horizon, that sort of stuff. So I just sort of, I was given the track and they said to me, scream when you think is necessary.
Okay, sweet.
So all I was trying to do was sort of add. Yeah, exactly. I was just trying to add a little bit to it because it was already a phenomenal track before I got on it. I just thought I was trying to just push it over the edge just a little bit, just to give it that extra bit of like bite to it.
Polish, yeah, totally. You said you play lead on this? What's your guitar setup for this project here, or what is it in general?
I have got a Jackson Dinky, which has actually got some phenomenal pickups in it for such a cheap guitar.
I love Dinky. I have a Dinky myself with a Dimebucker in it, actually.
Yeah, they're great. Honestly, mine's just like your basic, cheapest Dinky I could get because I was broke at the time.
Right, yeah, but throwing a good pickup in it's the way to go, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm planning that soon. And then I'm going into my orange Micro Terror. Okay. Little bit of gain. And then I am using the... what is it? Who's the company that Tim Henson... Neural DSP.
Oh yeah,
the Gojira plugin.
Oh nice, that's
that thing's fucking
everyone
phenomenal.
Loves the Gojira. Yeah, that thing is pretty versatile too, actually. So that's sweet.
Oh yeah, it's got so many sounds from like all the way from like completely clean, sounds beautiful to the dirtiest shit you've ever heard.
Right, totally. Well, so let's start giving this track a listen. We'll ask you some more questions afterwards, but let's give it a listen. This is Method to Madness, Resentment, official lyric video. Oh, sweet, a lyric video. I love it. Oh, the filter intro. I love that too, actually.
We keep doing that on tracks, and we need to, like, move away from doing the lo-fi intro all the time.
Pardon that little lag there.
Hello, internet hiccup.
Yeah.
We're back, though.
Yeah, we are, and we are rocking.
I like the chugging guitars in the opening, like super metalcore.
Yeah.
Going with the female. Oh, come on, please don't do that. Nice little false harmonic there on that guitar riff.
You would not believe how long it took me to hit that pinch harmonic. Because it was the first time I've ever played one, and I was just like spending hours trying to get it.
Well, you got it, man. It sounds great. Very core. I dig it.
That was the intention.
Yeah, I feel it, man. I feel it for sure.
I mean, we're trying to sort of sit somewhere between metalcore and nu metal.
I got you. You're doing it.
I definitely really have a soft spot for like heavier tracks that have an emphasis on like melodic vocals. Are you a fan of Spiritbox?
Yes, love Spiritbox.
I figured that would definitely be up your alley.
Yes, Spiritbox are phenomenal.
The new album is great.
I've not had a chance to listen to it yet. I need to listen to that soon.
Oh shit.
So I have
Ready to die.
I have heard this song before, and it's a fantastic song. And since this one's definitely more focused on the melodic vocals, and you're gonna be taking over vocals from here, what are you kind of foreseeing as like the direction you want to take this in? More of that traditional metalcore we talked about, or like?
Yeah, I'd say more the traditional metalcore. The only reason I personally say it's more nu metal is because I'm doing false chord rather than Fry, and obviously nu metal is embedded in Fry. So it's sort of got that meatier tone from the Fry, but also nice clean vocals.
And nice. That was a nice
screams.
false chord there that came off of that back end of that lyric. I love that. Oh, there we
Thank
go.
you very much.
You're beefy. You got a beefy ass voice. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, it's taken a long time, man.
Well, good, man. You burned it. It is a brutal growl. That is for sure.
See, what I wanted on this bit, the "Pray to God You're Listening," but it didn't quite fit. I recorded it, but it didn't quite work. Was at the end of this where there's sort of stuttery guitar bit. I was thinking if we just do a nasty scream over that, but it just didn't quite fit.
Right. Do you know what the drums are on this? Like, I really like. I think they fit really greatly into the mix. However the drums were done. I'm assuming it's resampled, not live, right?
Yeah, it's either I can't remember whether I did it or Jade recorded the drums, but I can't remember whether it used my plugins or. So it's either Get Good Drums or Cold Drums.
Well, they sound fantastic. The mix is really nice and tight too. Like, I could ask for a little more like maximum limitization at the end. Like, I'd like to hear it push a little bit more in volume, but it's not bad at all. Like, it punches well. You just got to kind of turn it up on your system a little bit to get that gut feeling.
Yeah, exactly. See, with the guy that mixed it was someone Jade that was friends with at university. I think it was. And I have the feeling he wasn't a huge fan of unclean vocals because every mix we got back... every mix we got back, the screams were ever so slightly too quiet.
Right.
And every time I was just like, no, let's turn those up a bit.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I mean, it's always good to have a third party mix stuff because it takes the egos out of it. Because, you know, if you let a singer mix,
100%.
the singer's going to be the loudest. You let the guitarist mix, the guitarist is going to be loudest. You let the drummer mix, the drummer's going to be loudest. So it's always, you know, if you can do that. But it's also hard if they're not understanding what the idea of the music actually is, you know. But
definitely.
I think they did a pretty damn good job with that mix. I personally too would have liked to hear the dirties a little louder, but that, you know, all together it really comes together. I would say it kind of needs like I don't know, a little, like maybe a solo in there or something to add a little bit of punch.
We were going to do a solo, but because I was lead at the time, I'm far from a good guitar player. So I was just, Jade sent me the Guitar Pro file for it so I could learn the tab.
Right.
And we talked about doing a solo, but because the way we think about things when we're writing music is, can this be done live? Because our whole thing is we want to perform this, which is why I do all of my vocals in single takes.
Right.
I refuse to do them in multiple takes because otherwise it's not real. It's not how it would sound.
I mean, yes and no, but I like the idea of where you're coming
I understand
from.
the mentality of like not running
that's
outside
how
your
I think
ability,
it
because that's definitely something I struggle with sometimes. Is I'll like, even in the writing stage, I'll write something and then I'll go into the booth and I'm like, I cannot do this. You know?
Like there was a few different ideas going about, and like one of our new tracks that we're doing at the minute, it's got some very high and fast rapped false chord. And I was going through it and I loved the idea of it. I loved how it sounded.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm never going to be able to do this live. It's not possible. And I want everything I do to be able to, if I'm performing to an audience, I want them to hear exactly what was recorded on the album. I don't want to give them some shit thing where I skip half the verse.
Right. No, totally. So on that note of live shows, if you could pick two other bands to open up for you, or for you to open up for, what would be the ultimate Method to Madness show? What would that look like?
So you've got the realistic and the ultimate.
So
Realistic.
ultimate. We're going, or both of them. Yeah, give me both of them.
I want to hear both. I want to hear if he shouts out the homies. You know, like what?
So no, genuinely, realistically, I would love to go on tour with Dylan Raised. Obviously, we've got a few
Raise the
songs together.
Altar.
He's going to be featuring on one of our EP songs.
So this is
That'd be
turning into
phenomenal.
Ray's podcast, and he hasn't even showed up yet. I swear.
And as far as like the best thing I could ever ask for, Korn and Slipknot.
Oh yeah.
Korn and
That'd be my
Slipknot.
go-to.
So like a Family Values. I went to the Family Values tour actually. Ice Cube, Limp Bizkit, Korn, and
I'll tell you what,
someone else. But that was back in '98, I believe.
Oh, really? It just popped into my mind, and I'm sure you guys need to cover it at some point. Have you heard Corey Taylor's Sums band?
Vended.
No,
I have,
Oh,
yes.
I have
They're
not. What are they
phenomenal.
called?
They're called
Vended.
Vended.
They've got one track
Offended?
out at the minute, I think.
Vended. VENDEND.
Okay.
Yeah, Vended.
Oh.
Vended. I don't know.
Have
It's
to look it
so it's Corey Taylor's son, and then Slipknot Clown, his son as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Honestly,
that's
Yeah,
sweet
it's
though.
wild.
It sounds exactly like sort of Iowa Slipknot,
Yeah,
except
I was talking to
somehow
some people
slips
about this.
gutturals into it.
Yeah, I was talking to some people about this because they were like, "Oh, it's crazy how much he sounds like Corey." And I'm just like, I mean, well, he's his kid, you know. He's gonna sound like him to some degree, but also like, he probably taught him, you know.
Yeah,
So
like,
even
there's
more
no
so,
doubt that
that's gonna
Dad's
be a
giving
big
vocal
influence
lessons.
on the sound, you know.
But I mean, I listened to their first song and I loved it
Mhm.
all through the stuff that sounded exactly like Corey. But then he started doing some nasty gutturals, and I was just like, "Holy fuck, this band is gonna do well."
Yeah.
But yeah, any other questions on Method to Madness stuff? I
Yes,
could talk
yeah,
about it
no,
all
no,
day.
I remember- go
I've,
ahead,
I've
go
got
ahead.
a so what's a big piece of media that inspires Method to Madness? Is it like, be it a book or a TV show or a movie? Like, do you have anything that like?
So Jade writes all of our lyrics, the majority of the guitar stuff. I try to help out on sort of. I'll message Jade every so often and go, "Here's a sick breakdown line." But Jade tends to do it, and we're sort of. Yeah, do you know Ice Nine Kills?
I do, yeah.
So you know how they've got that whole horror movie influence.
Hmm.
We were sort of thinking, so we have an album planned after the EP.
Yep.
How much of this I should say, I don't know, but oh well. So the whole idea is a band. It starts playing like shitty shows to one people, and then this witch comes along and like trades the band's soul for the music.
Mhm.
And it just the whole idea, my idea at least, was that
Yeah.
at the end of it loops, so it gets to the point where the band's been successful and then everything's fucked up, and then it goes
Yeah.
back to them playing one-man shows. And my idea was that it the very last song of the album links to the first song of the album.
I think that's super cool. Like, I love
I
albums
love
that have
albums that do
stories on them. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know if you know there's a storyline to Enterprise Earth's Patient Zero, but there's
Yes,
a pretty
yeah, I know.
methodical like story written out to that one. And that was like the first album for me that I like got introduced that had I read Dan Watson's write up on that on Facebook, right? And I was like, holy shit, that's wild, you know? Like, I always was thinking for years, like, wouldn't it be cool if people did stuff like this? And they do, you know? So I super respect that. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing is that I just want to, I want to be, without sounding so far up myself,
Mhm.
I want to be, if you get what I mean, that front man. I want to be the guy that can sort of. My thought on it is like, how Freddie Mercury was as the frontman of Queen.
and how he
He could-
elevated.
You
Come
gotta have a
on,
big
the
appetite,
audience.
you know. Yeah.
Like that's
And
crazy.
it's
And that's a good goal to have. That is the goal to have. Is it like, and if
My-
you're
my
not
whole-
thinking like that, then why are you even kind of doing it?
You gotta have that appetite, you know.
Exactly. You gotta be
we've
super
sort of
hungry.
adopted the attitude, and Jade has taken it off me. The attitude of it's not if we get famous, it's when. Because if you don't convince yourself it's going to happen, it's
not
never
gonna
going to happen.
No, it's true. I mean, that's just that's a good piece of life advice is you need to visualize your success and then you execute, I mean, and if you don't think you're going to be able to do it, I mean, especially with stuff like music, especially music, you have to have a certain amount of belief. It doesn't have to be absolute, and you need to be also careful of disillusioning yourself of just thinking that you're more than you really are. But you got to have that hunger, otherwise people feel it. That's the thing, is in your music, if you're not hungry for it, it turns into a mediocre piece of music or whatever if you don't have that thirst, that hunger, that desire to be alive with fire.
I completely love the stuff that people do just as like a passion project. But they just do it. They don't want it to go anywhere. They just want to release the music they love, and I love that stuff. But I feel like if you want to make music your career, you have to convince yourself that it's going to be something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's never going to be anything.
No, I mean, in terms of financial success, yeah, that is the truth. I mean, and you have to grind it out like it is a job. It's not
Which
easy
is why
work,
we
which is where people get misunderstood about music, is they don't understand how many hours actually have to go into everything, from promotion to practice to
and just the
going
time
and
for
buying
cultivating that
strings.
skill level for especially metalheads, because we're all stubborn. We want to do everything raw and fucking real and shit. Yeah,
is getting
and obviously
other
with
people
metal,
together.
you've got all the dickheads.
Yeah,
you've got all the dickheads.
We're all
that
dickheads.
are like,
we're all dickheads.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta impress everyone and then impress their dads.
Even as much as I'm like, let's not gatekeep. Gatekeeping's bad.
Right.
You see shit like fucking Machine Gun Kelly, who's trying to break into it, and you're like, shut the fuck up, you prick.
Well,
listen, I'm gonna say something controversial. Okay, I have no issues with Machine Gun Kelly. My only issue is the disrespect. All right.
Yeah, no, I have no issues with his music. His music's not bad. I just don't like him.
I don't like anybody starting shit for no reason other than like I'm just gonna get clicks. That's my issue.
Shit with
I don't care if it works. You're a dickhead for doing it.
Right.
I get your mentality.
There's better ways to go about it.
That's
There's
a lot of
better ways to go about it. That's for sure. So
that's a lot of the shit I think about with when we're doing stuff is I'll let you get onto the. Let us get onto the next track off this.
Finish this thought. Yeah.
Please finish.
I think about it a lot as you've got to walk the very fine line between sort of saying things for controversy, but obviously all press is good press.
Right, right. No, it's true.
So you sort of have to walk that very fine line between.
I don't think you need to go out and seek, or even you don't need to make steps towards starting drama. I think what people don't understand is you will get very far by just being humble and being real to people and like, hey, look, I'm just out here to be myself and to like show kindness, honestly, to make people happy.
That's the way
because people respect that, but there's just also not a lot of people who have that kind of intention, to be honest.
But also people take advantage of that too at the same time, which is the terrible thing of it,
Well, you gotta know when to stand up for yourself.
Exactly.
That's
I feel like you just have to sort of dip into a little bit of controversy just to help your marketing. Not to like make
metal is in itself controversial, it's supposed to piss people off, to a certain degree, but it's all tongue in cheek, and that's the thing is having to understand where that line actually falls, and it's a delicate one, in terms of it's very fine, because you can come off looking either brilliant or you can come off looking like a fucking conceited, arrogant dick, if you don't, with misbehaving in certain ways. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the thing, though, ultimately, is to remain as humble as possible, even though, like, being a musician kind of in itself states you think I'm special because I'm a musician. I mean, just generally. Everyone, you know, whatever you do, that's the how you kind of think of it. But musicians are, you know, extremely... especially kind of arrogant people or whatever, but and I'm, you know, including myself fully into that. But you know, through the years, I've realized you just being humble and just putting out what your art is the best way to achieve it. And then whatever comes your way, you just have to navigate it as best you can, you know, and try and not put bad stuff out into the atmosphere of the music scene or whatever.
I agree.
Well, so let's,
it's all about.
Oh, sorry. Finish that.
No, I was very last thought. I was just gonna say it's all about pleasing. Say you have 100,000 followers. It's all about pleasing the 50 people that are actually your fan.
Yeah,
that's all it is for me.
Yeah,
it's not about trying to please the masses. It's trying to make the people that actually like your shit continue to like your shit.
Exactly. I mean, that's all you can ask for. But so moving on with our last song of the day, we have a Gray Fade. I'm not sure exactly where they're from, but the Disciples of Death is the name of the song. Let's give it here a listen.
Gray Fade.
Ooh, we got a little bit of electronic stuff. Sweet.
They're from Dubai, actually.
Oh, Dubai.
Which is fucking badass.
That is super badass, actually.
It almost makes it more metal from being from a country that they probably don't accept metal as much.
It's true. It's got to be hard to do.
I don't want to get too off topic when we listen to the song, but if you guys have heard like Middle Eastern or like Egyptian metal, it's fucking wild.
I have to listen to that.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think of Nile when I hear that, but I know that they're from like
Nile's from the US.
I think they're Maryland or something. Virginia.
That guitar tone is nasty.
It's pretty out there. The mix is a little soft.
Very old school. Very old school.
Yeah, totally. Like, but it's got. Oh, there we go. It's starting to rock, getting a little thrashy in there. I like that.
Sorry, I will just say quickly, I didn't mean nasty as in bad, I meant nasty as in good.
Oh, we all know what's nasty, you know. It's all good.
Yeah, so he cites Metallica, Megadeth, and Iron Maiden.
I hear the Megadeth. I hear the Megadeth.
I hear the Iron Maiden.
And Maiden, too. I think the guitar tone's a little overdriven for, like, it's not quite as crisp as I'd like to hear it, but it still is rocking.
This sound definitely, this whole mix sounds very much out of the 80s, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, even the album art, it gives me Megadeth vibes.
Totally.
The font, the album art gives me Megadeth vibes. I love it.
Got that like kind of tough guy vocal thing.
Yeah.
Not quite a shout, not quite a growl, but still melodic. I like it. Could be a little more
35-year-old gym music.
Oh, epic. We're going epic here. Ballady.
See, I love a bit of like sort of ballady stuff in my metal.
Yeah, you had a little bit of it in the Method to Madness. It was very theatric. Oh, here we go, solo.
I'm looking at that fucking waveform at the end of the song, and it's like giving me anxiety.
I feel like we're expecting a bit of a brutal breakdown there.
What? How fucked up would it be if you just like they drop the whole ass tuning for the end of the song and then just bash it out?
I'm done. Nice long solo.
That is a really nice solo.
Yeah, it's pretty creamy on that. Oh, nice. A solid reset. A real reset.
I think the Queens could use a little work.
I think
constructive.
I mean, a lot of it.
I'd agree with you a little bit.
I feel like everything is kind of like 10% short. Like, to be totally honest, like
It's the kind of thing you pick up just the more you do this, it'll smooth itself out.
Exactly.
To be honest.
Exactly.
You know what though? I feel like there's a bit of charm in vocals that aren't perfect.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And
Like-
guitar, anything that's a little. It's called the Japanese call it wabi sabi, which is like
Okay.
the.
I've never heard that before.
No, that's
I've not heard that
serious.
before, but I get what you mean.
It's something I live by. It's the aesthetic appreciation of something that is imperfect. So like they'll take like nice vases that break or whatever, but then to reset
I know
it,
exactly what you're on about.
they
Yeah.
use like gold to like fill the crack or whatever, and so like it becomes more beautiful than it was before. Like it had that.
I'd say
excellence. I
it's-
love it.
It's
That's really
something
cool.
like all of the sort of big bands you like, their early stuff was dog shit. Let's be honest.
Some
It
of it,
wasn't
yeah.
well mixed.
Right.
It wasn't
Alright,
well
I'm gonna let
mixed.
that one. I'm gonna let that one go.
yeah, I got you. Me too.
It had that little charm to it that made it. You could tell it was just someone. They were just going with exactly what they wanted to hear. Even if that's not what the rest of the world wants to hear, they went with it,
Yeah.
and it sounds great. I
Or that's what they
absolutely
could
love
do.
stuff that's a little bit
Yeah.
imperfect.
Yeah, no, I got you. I mean, well, and you know, everything has its learning curve, and I think this track is. I'm just glad that someone's out there doing it in Abu Dhabi. That's pretty sweet, and they're putting
Yeah,
themselves
that's
out there.
insane
and
to
that's
me.
that's fantastic, and they've got some good thinking about what they're doing. They just got to keep at it, and
It's
they'll
also
keep
a
grinding.
one-man project,
Another-
which like more points for that.
Right.
You know, that's
It's not
very
easy
difficult to do.
It's not easy to do by any means. Like it's got its pluses and minuses, but generally it's pretty difficult to do. Well, so we're gonna wrap up the show here.
I tell you what, boys, I had an idea.
Mm-hmm.
If you would like to hear it, because it is on SoundCloud. My original thing that I put out.
Yeah, sure.
If you would like to hear it, you're more than welcome to listen to it. Let me just find that for you.
Okay, throw it into the DM in the Discord.
So it is. Let me find it. So I'll tell you what. If you just search "Beyond Desperation" on SoundCloud, let me type it out for you so you know.
Beyond Desperation. Let's see here.
Yes, it was my. It was my original one-man project. It's not great, but I thought it'd be a good sort of show where I came from, my sort of shit.
Totally.
I'm definitely, hopefully, gonna rework it at some point.
London Beyond
That's the plan. At
Desperation.
least.
Oh yeah, I recognize
Yeah,
that.
that'll be it.
Yeah.
That'll be my shit original art there.
No, I dig
This
it. I dig it
is-
actually. I
yeah.
kind of really like the art direction with this stuff. The noose is pretty sick, and that no signal, I like that. It's like digital lo-fi, which is super cool.
You would
right
not
now.
believe how long I spent trying to work that out.
I remember,
Good
dude.
job.
I was around when you were like posting for feedback on this, and there were guys.
Yes, you
talking.
were,
Yeah,
weren't you?
Yeah.
You did good. So,
See-
Static, is that the track we'll be going to, or?
Static, that is it.
Okay. Well, let's do. So, you
I
got
will
anything to say about
preface
this?
it quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the best mixed because it was still while I was trying to learn it all.
Mhm.
I'm hopefully planning to redo it in sort of my current style, but I just thought you'd like to sort of see where I've come from, what I'm doing now. So I did this sort of last year. It was all sort of based on basically me being incredibly depressed and wanting to write a song.
Hey, that's how the best
Hello.
music gets made, you know? Like, really, seriously. So let's give this a listen here. Beyond Desperation, Static.
The number you have called is no longer in service.
Nice intro.
There we go. This definitely sounds like it's gonna be leaning more into the Slipknot influence.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I was
Yeah.
going for. I was going for the Slipknot vibes.
Those vocals are solid, though. You're
brutal.
easily.
That was when I was more going for when I started, I was sort of going for the Corey Taylor style of the sort of half shout, half scream.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mix is fucking insanely out of whack, but I dig it. Fucking
Yeah,
kick
the
is
mix
like
is
weird
great.
and cool, but like the cymbals don't fall anywhere. But it's
I
cool.
hear what you're going for, at least with the guitar tone. It just sounds kind of muted, but like bringing it up to
It sounds like a power violence kind of thing. Like, kind of reminds me of like Charles Bronson a little bit. Like if it was a little faster, but and then this has got the new metal vibes to it, which isn't as much Charles Bronson, but like the quality of the guitar reminds me of Charles Bronson for sure. Just like tape-driven.
When I made this, I thought the breakdown was the hardest thing. That bit there. I thought that was the hardest thing, but it's so shit now. Look,
you
back
can't
on it.
shivers
get on
down
the
my
vocals,
spine.
but yeah.
No, well,
And
the
the
guitar is
drill,
mean too. It's got like I'm walking down the
I like
street
when you roll,
drunk. I'm gonna
right.
beat some shit
Yeah.
up and fucking smash a windshield. Like I dig it.
I tried to re-record it quite recently and then realised I don't actually know what the guitar does because it was completely improvised at the time.
That's all you get. That's how you get it sometimes.
I'm recording.
That's how the shot comes out.
There you go. You got a little half blast there like that.
Dude, here's a fun fact of it. I bought the drum track. I just bought someone else's MIDI drum track and just stuck it.
So you can blame someone else for these drums.
I just bought a random person's drums, and they're like, "Yeah, you can
Who
use it
sold
up
this?
like,
Like,
oh."
I'd go kick
I
their
couldn't tell you
ass now.
I was just thinking you asked for a refund.
Yeah, exactly. It's so bad, but I just like that it sort of shows where I've come from now.
Oh, yeah.
No, totally.
Now.
And
I love
don't
the
think
ideas
I'm
you
not
have laid out
trashing
here.
on you at all. It's just funny. It's just funny to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I just wanted something like, obviously not then, but now. I just wanted to show you something a bit funny that I tried to do.
Just for
Wait,
your future knowledge, you can buy. I'll sell you some drum tracks that are a little more quality than this or whatever.
Honestly though, like I really like the ideas you have written here. Like I like what you're doing with the guitar and the vocal delivery is great. It really is just a mix thing, honestly, and the drums. The drums are
I remember when I was trying to record this on the bit that when there's a bit where I say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, but I just could not get it on tempo. So it was like 5,
While you're
4,
counting.
3, 2, 1.
That's hilarious. Okay, it's
Yeah,
just a countdown.
that's
How do we
fucking
do
funny.
this? 5. Yeah, that is funny. That's
Yeah,
great though.
it
No,
was
I love
ridiculous.
to, I love to see where you come from, and I'm looking forward to seeing where Method to Madness goes too, man. Like, because you do have a pretty solid
Yeah, man,
like,
we're
lineup
trying our
there.
best. It's we've just got a actual drummer. So instead of Jade, who is our rhythm guitarist, doing the drums, we've actually got a legit drummer now. So that should be pretty good. And we've got a lot of stuff planned, man. Over the next year or so, we've got a lot of stuff planned. We're hoping to have our EP out by sort of January time.
Nice.
Yeah, it's all going sort of. We're looking for the way I look at music is I'm trying to go for a very specific vibe. And even I don't know what that specific vibe is.
You're
but
feeling it out. You're
when I
feeling
hear it,
out.
I go, "Yep, perfect."
Right, totally. It's like pornography, or you can't say exactly
Yeah,
what
exactly.
it is, but you know it when you see it, or whatever.
100%.
Well, anyway, I think we're gonna wrap it up today because it's been a great show, and we've been going for about an hour, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
About an hour,
53 minutes.
Thank you
so.
so much for having me, guys.
Yeah,
This
no,
has
it's been our
so much fun.
pleasure. You've been a totally excellent guest to have, Jake, and we'll definitely, when Method to Madness comes out with some new stuff, we will definitely be having you back onto the show here. So
We will submit it as soon as it is ready.
right
Awesome
on.
to hear.
And thank you so much. Also, I got to thank you for supporting basically helping build Horns in the Air Discord. So
You're good, man. Honestly, it's not. I love doing it. I love reaching out to this community. I love talking about this sort of stuff. So it's right up my alley.
Well-
And I love watching every week. So it's been great to be here.
Sweet. Well, thank you, man, because without you, like, none of this would happen. So I've got much appreciation for you. And also another shout out to Cult of Metal for basically being able to create the community that put all of us together to be able to do this. So that is something that I am super grateful for. Otherwise, I think I'm signing off here in Arizona, and you guys are signing off where you're coming from, and it's been a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you later. And
Well, good, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one.
Have a good one.
Okay.